Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Shai. These are the days, minutes, hours leading to the return of the one in the world called Jesus Christ. And, we know that before the Lord returns, there's going to be a whole bunch of prophecy happening, and things going on in the world. World War III, calamities, earthquakes in diverse places, more discourse and things like that amongst the people. And situations like this, 8 children have been killed in a shooting spree in the southern U.S. state of Louisiana. And what police said appears to have been an incident of domestic dispute. The gunman, who was not immediately identified, was fatally shot by police after a car chase early Sunday. So this just happened. This is a rather extensive crime scene spanning between 2 residences. So the victims ranged in age from 14 borderline said, I read in another thing, it was like from 14 months, 18 months to 14 years, so really young, and they got sent back to the spirit world. The Heavenly Father isn't playing. It was supposedly domestic dispute, so we're gonna figure out the details. It supposedly kind of just happened. Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4, the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite, let not your eye spare, neither have you pity. Right, so, in these last days, everybody who's not on the Heavenly Father's side is going to be susceptible to getting God. You don't want that to be you. The best way to do that is, be on the side of the Heavenly Father. Choose righteousness and choose the path of Yahweh Bashim Shai every day. It's an everyday choice. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, right? So, anybody could get it. Any and everybody could get it. So, again, be on the right side of the Heavenly Father. You see, eight children, right? The gunman shot. Here's another thing that happened. So you have a lot of these different influencers and things like that. They got attacked the other day, or of recently, and there's things happening. So Clavicular, he's the dude that's super into looks maxing. Basically, his philosophy is, how much the importance of looks and appearance is to life and getting women and things like that, which there's some truth to that. The scriptures even there's some truth to that. Scriptures even talk about the countenance and things like that. Appearance matters, but it isn't everything, nor is it God or end all be all. But he also was on he also be trying to spit game at dudes, girls, and doing things like that, which is very very wicked. You think you're so above yourself or whatever that you see a dude with this girl and you try to do things to belittle him so she'll leave him and go to you. That's evil. The Manosphere influencer suffered a suspected overdose while streaming live from a bar in Miami on April 14th. He was rushed to the hospital after becoming unresponsive on camera. He later posted that he was recovered, but noted his face descending due to the medical mask used, right? So, hey, he OD'd. He didn't die, but he OD'd. All right, right here, while streaming in New York City, Sneeko was sucker punched and pepper sprayed by unknown assailant. The attack was caught on his live stream. Reportedly suffered a damaged tooth and temporary disorientation from the mace. And that pepper spray, that ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. If you've been pepper sprayed before, that ain't no joke. Not one bit. Oof. On April 15th, Ice Spice, right? On April 15th, the rapper was slapped by a woman inside McDonald's. Footage showed the altercation moving to the parking lot where Ice Spice allegedly smashed the phone belonging to the attacker's group. And her legal team filed a report. And I was just watching the video, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous how these people be. You know, she was just sitting down with her friend, a random girl about her age. You know, like late teens, early 20s, early to mid 20s. You know, came up and tried to sit with her, and they weren't having it. And she just attacked Ice Spice. Ice Spice fought back, but yeah. I don't know, these two, Zayn Malik, you know, he's big amongst the girls. One Direction. News surfaced on April 18th that Malik was hospitalized for a sudden heart ailment, forcing him to cancel several fan events. All right, so I don't know these other people, but yeah, you know, you got a lot of these things going on, and if there's a lot of things going on in like in a specific amount of time, that means that the Heavenly Father has a trend going on. You know, it's possible that he's shaking up a lot of these different people that these people are looking up to. And a lot of these people say as well that celebrity culture is kind of dying, you know? So that's just the waves and the changes of the mindsets of these people. Ain't nobody worried about celebrity culture because everybody's struggling, and also everybody hating. You know, you getting all this money and all this fame and all these girls and all this freaking everything, and we're just stuck struggling, you know. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Hey, you know, you don't know the end of these people, so don't envy these super ballers and stuff like that. You know, be on your own path, live your own best life in the knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's the only way you're going to keep your sanity. If not, you're going to be too busy thinking about them 24/7. Here's another thing. Trump's approval rating hits second-term low as Americans sour on the economy and Iran war. Right, so people are approving of these different higher-ups less and less, you know. And that goes into Second Ezra's, the 15th chapter. President Trump's job approval rating has sunk to a new low as Americans express growing concerns about rising costs and the war with Iran. Right, a rising cost war with Iran. Overall, 37% of adults approve of Trump's performance as president, while 63% disapprove, including 50% who said they disapprove strongly, putting his job rating at the lowest point of his second term. In NBC News, 2/3 of respondents also disapproved of Trump's handling of inflation and the Iran conflict. Hey, you know, so they're upset with the higher ups, you know, and really it seems like who knows, but you know, possibly we'll be going to complete full scale all out war soon. You know, more and more boots on the ground with a draft, you know. Or they're going to shut this place down because they were doing talks of COVID again, you know, saying that there's a COVID surge again. So we'll end up seeing, you know, but things may spark up real soon. 2 Ezra 15 verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So here's the thing: if the government is believed to be here to watch over and help and protect the people, and the people don't feel like, you know, their government is doing that, you know, eventually, what are they going to do? You know, they're going to feel like backlashing in various ways. And you got a lot of people that distrust the news, a lot of people that distrust the government, you know, all that. You know, so we're going to see a lot of these different things shape up, and we're not going to be a part of it. All we're going to do is watch and pray and, you know, be on the side of the Heavenly Father. You know, that's the only thing we're allowed to do. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah. You know, it's just an update of what's going on politically, you know, in the world, in the different streets, so to speak. Shalom.